All right, all right. What is going on, Bree Hive? Welcome back to another live stream. We are going to be going over Jonathan Majors and the craziness that he has going on in trial. Just like last week, I did not know that his trial was starting so soon, which is absolutely crazy. If you don't know who I'm talking about, we're talking about Jonathan Majors. He is an actor. He has been coming up in the movie industry. He was in Creed 3 and he was also in what was it, like the Ant-Man Marvel movie where he was like the villain. And let me tell you, him in that movie was very annoying to me. I didn't like him. I was like, who the heck is this guy? And then I realized he was the same guy from Creed. Good for him for getting his coins, but not his fault. I definitely did not like his character in Marvel. But we're going to be jumping into his trial. He's being accused of assault by his ex-girlfriend. And there's a lot going on, y'all. And tonight it's going to be a live reaction. I dabbled in a little bit of what's going on, but I did not have a bunch of time to go over everything. So we are going to jump right into it. If you're watching live, make sure you go ahead and drop in the chat you're watching live so that we know that you're here. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and put it into the comments. And y'all, this is going to be a short stream today. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I am a little bit sick. And so I don't know how many words I'm going to exactly have for you guys because like my throat is it's not having a good time right now. But let me know if you're watching live. Let me go ahead and pull up what we're going to jump into. And we only got a couple people in here live right now. So I'm going to do the introduction. We're going to jump right into the case because, like I said, your girl is not feeling too well. But I did want to make sure I didn't leave y'all hanging for the whole week. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button. I did see that some people went ahead and hit the like button before the live even started. So definitely appreciate you for that. We are at 6 likes with 7 people watching live. So shout out to the Bree Hive for the early likes. All right, let me go ahead and jump into the chat. We got Kimmy Locker saying, hello, Bree Hive. It's good to be back here with you. Y'all know Kimmy Locker is our member of the channel, moderator of the channel, paralegal of the channel, and also consultant of the channel. If y'all need some help with your social media, make sure you chat with Kimmy. She comes up with all the little clever the clever community post that comes up. She gives me ideas when I don't know exactly what to cover. So if you guys are trying to get your social media popping or your YouTube popping, especially, make sure y'all reach out to our paralegal Kimmy, okay? We got Summer Butterfly, another member of the channel, saying hello, and welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you tonight. Let me know if you guys heard of this trial or if you heard of this guy, Jonathan Majors. Is this an interesting case to you guys? We got Cloud 11 saying, feel better. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. I'm just hoping I can actually make it through the live stream today. I planned on doing Reddit after we go through the case, but I'm thinking now that we're just going to go through the case at this point because yeah, I don't think I have it for y'all. Kimmy Locker says, this case is interesting to me, but I hadn't heard of it before you. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah. So, I heard of it a while back. He actually came to trial pretty quick, in my opinion. I think in like about a year or so. And he's basically, I'm sure you looked at the documents since you pulled some of them. He basically is being accused of assaulting his girlfriend in the back of a car, which is pretty darn interesting, and wondering if the driver is going to testify. I have not been able to watch the trial live. I think they are playing it live, but I just got back from vacation, so I haven't been able to watch it. So I've just been reading up on articles so that we can get it covered on the channel. We got Julia 543. Hello, another member of the channel. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Long time no see. Saying, hey, y'all. Hey, welcome back into the live stream. Hope you are doing well today. Summer Butterfly says, no, I haven't heard of it. Yeah, it kind of went under the radar, just like how it came to trial, went under the radar. Kimmy Locker says, less than a year, the incident and the arrest was March. I don't know why I was thinking it was like last year. I was like, it couldn't have been this year, but apparently it was this year. It came to trial really fast. So thank you, Kimmy, for updating us on that. Let me go ahead and jump on into where I don't even know where I want to start today. Kimmy got some documents for us. Yeah, let's start with the document that Kimmy pulled up for us, it is talking about um Jonathan's rendition of the facts, which let me know if y'all think it's believable. I briefly tapped into it, so this is mostly going to be a live reaction. But his story, it doesn't sound right to me. But y'all let me know what you think. And like I said, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out in the algorithm. And y'all, I am still having problems with my soundboard, and I cannot hear when I do any of the effects, which is really, really bothering me. So I'm sorry if I hit an effect and y'all can't hear it, because we're having some technical difficulties over here. Let's go ahead and jump into the this is a motion to dismiss and then facts in support of the motion to dismiss. So this is Jonathan's position as to why this case should not really be going forward. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The complainant in this case, Grace Jabari, and I hope I'm saying her name right, claims that Mr. Majors assaulted her in the backseat of a hired car in Chinatown around 12:40 a.m. on March 25th, 2023. She also claims that in doing so, Mr. Majors broke her finger and lacerated her ear. Yet the unambiguous evidence, much of which the people have not seen fit to disclose, tells a completely different story. He's basically, I'm just going to jump into it. He is basically saying that he's the victim, okay? He is saying that he's the victim here. Let's go on to see how he's going to tie that all together. And y'all, this is already on trial. We're just going back in time and seeing what he pled in his motion to dismiss, which was clearly unsuccessful because he is in trial at this moment. So let's see. Early on March 25th, Ms. Jabari saw a text message on Mr. Major's phone that she believed showed him to be unfaithful. Whipped up by the 6 alcoholic drinks she had consumed that night, she immediately flew into a savage rage. I gotta see the difference in size in these people. Not saying that like smaller people can't attack bigger people, but really, she flew into a savage rage. That is some colorful language. The driver of the car, the only eyewitness to the events besides Miss Jabari and Mr. Majors, used the phrase "psycho girl" to describe Miss Jabari's vicious, violent state. Miss Jabari attempted to violently wrest the phone from, I guess it meant to be wrestled the phone from his hands and assaulted Mr. Majors, clawing his face with her nails, slapping his face, and brutally scratching his arm as she attempted to steal his phone. Steal his phone? Okay. The driver will testify that he never saw Mr. Majors strike Miss Jabari in any way at any time or even raise his voice despite Miss Jabari's drunken physical attack. Instead, Mr. Majors escaped the car and Miss Jabari with the driver's assistance. Even as Mr. Majors emerged from the car into moving traffic to get away from Miss Jabari continued her pursuit, unable to run in the moment because of the moving cars. Mr. Major picked Miss Jabari up and placed her back, and I thought he ran away. So he came back to pick her up and put her back onto the car to stop her attack on him, but Miss Jabari did not stop and did not stay in the car. Instead, Miss Jabari then attacked Mr. Major on the street as he tried to run away from her, still attempting to steal his phone. Steal his phone? Can we say take his phone? You're acting like she's just going to run off with it and sell it. Mr. Major shook her wild clutches off his arm. And the language in this is so colorful, like I can't even concentrate. And ran up Center Street, even dodging and weaving through traffic to outrun his attacker, while she relentlessly gave chase. Having successfully put some distance between himself and Miss Jabari, Mr. Majors looked for the car so that he could go alone to a hotel rather than back to his apartment where Miss Jabari was also staying. As Mr. Majors turned a corner, he unexpectedly saw Miss Jabari, who had encountered 3 strangers and was excitedly telling them the truth of what happened, that she saw text messages on Mr. Majors' phone. He ran away from her and she was desperately trying to find him. How close was he when he heard this conversation? Let's go on. Unsurprisingly, at the time, Ms. Jabari makes no mention of the fictitious assault of which she now accuses Mr. Majors of any injuries, as she had none. Let's see. There's a surveillance video. They're claiming there's a surveillance video with the lady who talked to the strangers for 8 minutes after the attack. This is the first video footage of Miss Jabari after she alleged Mr. Majors injured her. The clear video, which includes audio, show Miss Jabari in perfect physical condition, freely using her fingers to gesture and even tying her hair into a bun repeatedly and sliding her fingers and nails behind her ear that she later claimed was lacerated without any signs of pain or blood. This exculpatory evidence, as we argue below, falls squarely basically within the fact that they don't have the evidence, right? I don't know if that's what it says, but that's what I'm assuming it says. Miss Jabari once more followed Mr. Majors and begged him to give her his phone. Mr. Majors wanting neither to be further attacked nor leave Miss Jabari on the street, attempted to convince Miss Jabari to get in the car so the driver could take her to his apartment. You just said that you didn't want to go home with her. Now you're taking her home. Okay, let's go on. Get in the car with her. And to drop him off at the hotel. As multiple videos show, Miss Jabari still fixated on Mr. Majors on his phone, refused to get in the car unless Mr. Majors got in first. He did so, but before the door even closed, she immediately resumed her hot fury and physical assault to steal Mr. Majors' phone and prevent him from escaping. Once more, Mr. Majors had jumped out of the car, and video shows Miss Jabari wildly grabbing and clawing him, ripping off his coat buttons and tearing his coat pockets in the process. Indeed, Miss Jabari employed such strength to the violent grip on Mr. Majors that she not only tore his clothes, but spun his body as he used both hands to grip the car and pull himself out of her clutches. This time, she did this in front of the driver and 3 people standing on the street, as well as multiple security cameras. Okay, I was kind of on her side. What do y'all think so far? The stories it's very colorful. It uses very colorful language. It may or may not be a little bit over exaggerated. I don't know. But if they really have the video showing this stuff, can we really say that he assaulted her? What do y'all think so far? It's a lot. And this is a live reaction. I wish I could watch. I mean, I could watch this trial, but it'll be a catch-up thing. And I don't got time for that. I guess I could do it over the weekend, but we also have the who is it? Young Thug trial going on that I am super behind on and I need to catch up on so that we can do updates on that trial as well. But this one definitely seems a lot more entertaining. And I believe, Kimmy King, correct me if I'm wrong, they are live streaming this trial. Or am I just confused at this point? Okay, let's jump back in it. Still hoping to ensure that Jabari got home safely, Mr. Majors appealed to the 3 strangers to convince Miss Jabari to let the driver chauffeur her to his apartment, refusing to let Mr. Majors or his phone out of her sight and reach. Miss Jabari again only entered the car on the condition that Mr. Majors go with her. This time, Mr. Majors kept the doors open, and when Miss Jabari resumed her frenzied attack for a 3rd time, Mr. Majors slipped out of the car, leaving Miss Jabari with the car, the driver, and the 3 strangers. He then took a taxi directly to the Mark Hotel on the Upper East Side and did not see Miss Jabari again till around 10 hours later, which upon returning to his apartment in response to suicidal threats she sent him, he probably should have got a restraining order against her. If this stuff is true, he found her unconscious on a floor behind a locked door that he had to summon a handyman to open and promptly call 911. As seen on surveillance camera video provided by the People, after Mr. Majors left the incident location, NYPD patrol cars arrived at the incident location, apparently in response to at least one 911 call. Rather than take the private car home after Mr. Majors parted ways with her at 1 a.m., Miss Jabari went clubbing at Lucy's nightclub at Moxie Hotel until 3:30 a.m., accompanying the 3 people she had met on the street. There, as video footage from the club shows, Miss Jabari bought bought an $800 bottle of champagne on Mr. Major's credit card, freely using her allegedly injured right hand to retrieve the credit card from a stack of credit cards in her purse. The video also shows Miss Jabari drink two more glasses of champagne and one tequila shot. How did they know it was tequila? Okay. Tequila shot, reach into her bag several times, sort through credit cards, handle phone calls, hold a menu, sign the check, dance wildly, and hold her champagne glass freely and easily, all while clearly in a celebratory mood or mode, frequently laughing and without showing any visual indication of any injury at all. Photos taken of Miss Jabari from Lucy's show her smiling with no injury, blood, or bruising anywhere at all, including her later broken finger or right ear, the latter of which she is shown leaning on the shoulder of one of the strangers with whom she partied the night away. Okay. Um, yeah, they're claiming they have video of all of this. What? Let me go ahead and check in the comments. What do y'all think so far? I'm glad I started off with this because I was like, why did he do that to her? But the fact, and it's not even like their colorful language of the attack and she tried to steal his phone and all of that stuff. That's not what's getting me. What's getting me is the fact that she went out to a party for 2 hours and turned up with an allegedly broken finger. And I don't know why they found this important. And the fact that she was holding a menu, that part is interesting. We'll see. We're going to get into some of her testimony today. But at this point, I don't know. She might be the problem. Let me see what y'all think in the comments. We got MB saying it's two of his exes that accuses him of DV, right? Or are there more? I don't know. I feel like there are multiple, but I'm not sure. And honestly, this could be a situation why I am saying that I don't believe her. This could be a situation where there has been multiple incidences of domestic violence, which in turns could make the victim start to attack first to basically kind of like defend themselves or whatever it may be. It may just be kind of a history kind of thing versus her just literally attacking him. We don't know. I haven't watched the testimony yet, so I guess we'll see as we'll go on. We got Deacon Fatal, another member of the channel, saying still not sure why he brought Miss King's name in there. He is ridiculous. He told her to be like Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. He told her to do all of these things, but he's over here. I don't know why he's doing that. I don't know why he's doing that. Julia543 says, toss up, just allegations and a lot of shade so far. Exactly. It's very colorful language. That's going to be the line for today. Colorful language. Truth in his word says he got his butt kicked by the Arab woman. Oh, so you think that she is the attacker? You think that he should be let go free? Is that what we're saying? I don't know. I'm with the language. It's leaning more towards his side at this point. Deacon Fatal says it's a hot mess to me so far. And again, too broke to worry about rich folks' problem. They got lawyers figure it out, and that's what they're doing. And apparently she testified, I think yesterday is when she testified. So we'll see what comes of this. The story is good. The story that he's telling is very good. I don't know if we're going to get through the whole thing, but we'll see how far we get into these facts, and then we'll jump into kind of like the summary of what each opening statement argued through an article, because I have not watched it myself, and then we'll jump into a little bit about what she testified today to see like what's going on. Do we believe her? I don't know. She's gonna cry. Of course she's gonna cry. In fact, as captured on security video, at no point when Miss Jabari was at Lucy's or when she finally taxied to Mr. Major's Chelsea apartment and entered the lobby. Oh, he lives in New York. I was just in New York. I figured they was talking about New York, but yeah, the Chelsea apartments. Okay. And entered the lobby and elevator at 3:36 a.m. Does Miss Jabari have any apparent discomfort, marks, blood, or injuries? I would probably agree with that. Either she was super intoxicated and she couldn't feel it. Because sometimes you can fracture your finger and it not really be that big of a deal until maybe like the next morning you're not drunk anymore. So that could potentially be an issue as to why we don't see her with anything But the lack of blood when she's saying that she had a cut on her ear and all of the things, I don't know, ma'am. I don't know. Oh, let's see. Once alone in Mr. Majors' apartment, Mr. Majors was now hiding from her in a hotel in Upper Manhattan. Miss Jabari doubled down on her campaign to get Mr. Majors back. She attempted to call him no less than 32 times, sent him imploring text messages, I'm assuming, because it says text missives. I think that's messages, begging for him to call, then switched to angry and jealous text messages about his purported infidelity. And then, when these tactics proved fruitless, she dropped the ultimate bomb and threatened suicide just before 8 a.m. By then, and presumably while alone in Mr. Major's apartment, Miss Jabari had a broken right finger and a cut behind her right ear, the former of which was visible visibly badly bruised and swollen, and the latter bleeding profusely onto the bed sheets. Again, Miss Jabari tried to call Mr. Major several more times, and when he neither answered her calls nor responded to her suicidal threats, Miss Jabari phoned a friend in England a few times later at approximately 8 a.m., sending photos of her new injuries and confessing that she did not know how she hurt her finger. Miss Jabari also confessed to her British friend that she had been really scrappy, meaning physically violent, with Mr. Majors the night before. Okay, so my question is, are you trying to claim that she did it to herself, or are you trying to claim that it just took a while for the injuries to pop up? Which one are you trying to claim here? Because in one sentence, it looked like you're saying, okay, all of a sudden she had these bruises. And then in another second, it's saying, okay, well, she could have gotten it from the fight, or maybe she didn't. She doesn't know where she got it from. Around 9 a.m., Mr. Majors woke to find his face. Mr. Majors awoke to find his face stuck to the hotel pillow with dry blood from a large gas delivered by Miss Jabari's fingernails in the car. And you're trying to judge her for not knowing where her injuries came from. And he fell asleep with a full scratch on his face and didn't go to the hospital. I don't know. Sounds like a couple people played a part in this situation. Having photographed his bloody face and scratched arm at 2 a.m., Mr. Majors added a photograph of the bloody pillow to document the latest alcohol fueled by Miss Jabari. Then he saw her messages and frantic missed calls, and Miss Jabari intended when she sent him the suicide threats, he became worried for her and began calling. Miss Jabari ignored Mr. Major's texts and calls as she laid in his bed in Chelsea and messaged her British friend, adding fuel to his fear. Though he had booked his hotel for 2 nights so that he would not return to his own apartment until Miss Jabari had flown back to London on March 26th, Mr. Majors succumbed to Miss Jabari's plan and returned to his apartment at 10:30 a.m. On March 25th, 10 hours after she attacked and injured him, purely out of concern for her well-being. He found his apartment his apartment was spun, concerned into complete panic. A deliberately placed sentimental photograph, a lit candle, intentionally stacked romantic items, a locked bedroom door, closed bedroom curtains, and no answer to his phone calls, calling her name, or loud knocks on the door. At around 11:11 a.m., after a building handyman unlocked the bedroom door to reveal a dark, soundless bedroom, Mr. Majors entered alone to find Miss Jabari lying on the floor of his walk-in closet naked, but for a sweatshirt that had a significant sentimental connection to him. She appeared unconscious, and he immediately noticed the cut on her ear and the bruised finger. Within seconds, Mr. Major called 911, and the first terrified words out of his mouth were attempted suicide. That was the first thing that he said to the police, I'm guessing. The police arrived minutes later. Mr. Major shared these facts with several officers, showing many of them Miss Jabari's suicidal threats. From the jump, seeing an injured white woman. Okay. Seeing an injured white woman and large black man, one of the officers suspected Mr. Majors. The officer questioned Mr. Majors about the source of Miss Jabari's injured finger, and in front of at least 8 officers, Mr. Majors stated that while he did not know the source, Miss Jabari had smacked him up last night. Not only did none of the offers investigate his statement or question Ms. Jabari, as it is standard NYPD protocol, but worse, the officer replied to Mr. Majors with, "If I smacked you, I wouldn't break if I smacked you, I wouldn't break my finger." Mr. Majors then showed the officers in front of 8 other officers his torn coat and told them that Ms. Jabari had ripped it during her attack on him. The officers did not care to investigate this crime either. Instead, they arrested Mr. Majors and took Ms. Jabari to Bellevue Hospital for a psychiatric and medical evaluation. Bellevue held Ms. Jabari in a psych ward for 3 hours and treated her injuries. After leaving Bellevue, Ms. Jabari went to the Soho House for dinner with a friend and then returned to Mr. Major's apartment, where she packed her suitcase of valuables belonging to Mr. Major. Now she's stealing his stuff, including luxury goods, watches, all while he was in custody, and sent him text messages she knew he was not receiving. Ms. Jabari proceeded to use Mr. Major's credit card. Okay, I see why they were saying she was trying to steal his phone, because if this is true, she's coming off as a little thief. Okay, she used his credit card to book a high-end car to drive her to Brooklyn with a suitcase of valuables, and the next day to JFK for a flight to London, also paid for by Mr. Majors. Okay, I think that's all we're going to go through, because then they're going to talk about how he dealt with the police and all of the things. So those are the facts of the incident. It sounds wild, in my opinion. I don't know if I believe this rendition of the facts, but this is going to be a he say, she say, and it's also going to include whatever witnesses showed up, which was the driver, the 3 strangers, and the video cameras. The video cameras are really going to be the star of the show, because if they are showing this, but her attacking him, I guess he could get off if he's basically claiming self-defense is what I'm getting from this, that he didn't attack her. This is self-defense. Let me go ahead and jump into the comments and see what the peeps are saying. Let's see. Truth. Sorry, y'all. My little thing is not working how I like it to work. Okay, Truth in his word says, "I was against him at first, but now it sounds like he got his butt kicked." It does sound that way. I'm with you. I was like, okay, why he do this to this girl? But with this rendition of the facts and the fact, and I don't even think I believe his story, because everyone's going to tell the story the way they want to tell the story or the way that they remember it. What I have concern about is the video. If they really truly have videos of this, they could be exaggerating the video to make it sound like it gears more towards them. Sure. Or maybe he stopped the attack at the point where he saw the video cameras or whatever it may be, right? After he already got her riled up. And I've had this happen in domestic violence cases too, where one party will get the other party all riled up. And then when the other party's all riled up, now all of a sudden, calm, cool, and collective, I'm not doing anything to you after I just punched you in the head, but there was no cameras when I did such a thing. He's going to testify, or they're testifying that the, what do you call it? The driver is on his side, but is this his driver? Is it a bias? What's going on here? We'll get more into some more of the comments. Deacon Fatal says, "They sound horrible together. It sounds like a whole war in the back of this car." And yeah, they kept getting into the car. I would have been so annoyed as the driver. Truth in his word says, "All that Creed training to get your butt kicked by a 115-pound woman." Right. All the Creed training for sure. And I'm telling y'all, I did not like his character in Marvel. Marvel, if you ever see this, that was not necessarily him. His character was just annoying. Like, I don't know if y'all saw it. It was like one of the Ant-Man movies. He was the villain in there. Let's see here. MB says, Judge in his New York case has now thrown out Major's countersuit against his ex. The Manhattan DA has declined to prosecute the case against Grace Jabari because it lacks prosecution. You know, I can't say that word. It doesn't have any merit to be prosecuted. So I did read that, which makes me think that their explanation of the video is not truly accurate. And so I'm wondering if the judge is not seeing this video before they're writing all this stuff. But I would definitely love to see what's actually happening there. Let's see. Kimmy Locker says to MB, since their criminal charges is technically wasn't a countersuit, that is true. The DA did decline to prosecute, though, which Majors was not too pleased about. Yeah. Wouldn't you? His whole thing is that she attacked him, and all he did the whole entire time, he did not attack her. He didn't slap her when she tried to grab his phone, which I don't really believe. Some people be serious about their phones, that they'll do whatever to protect it. So I don't believe that all the way. But yeah, they did decline to prosecute it, which makes me believe that either they are not watching the right video, they're a little bit confused. There is some things, and like I said, she could have just been drunk or high adrenaline and never felt it. Or maybe she was just like, oh, my finger hurts. And then when she woke up in the morning, like, oh my gosh, my finger is bruised. That does happen too. So it's interesting. Truth in His Word says, this all sounds like a movie. It does. It does sound like a movie. Lord have mercy. If all this is true, that woman is a problem. Must be some mental issues going on there. And they're making it seem like she just kind of plotted this. Like this is what she was going after. She came from London. She visited him. She beat his butt. Then she stole from him and charged up his credit card. That is the story that I got out of what Major's side is asserting. I don't have a copy of what the DA is asserting, so we can't really go through that. And I haven't seen a comment from Kimmy to know whether or not they are streaming it live. But if they are, I'm going to have to catch up with this on the weekend. Okay. Deacon Fatal says, did the officers have body camera footage and did they have them on? I have not read anything about that yet. And this is honestly, like I said, a live reaction for me. Okay. I don't think they are. What question did I ask? It's not being streamed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll look to see if I can find it, but it may not be streamed here. People may just be showing up. Yeah, so I don't know if they had the body cameras on or not. Where am I at? Kimmy Locker says to Deacon Fatal, yes, there's body cam footage. Okay, well, thank you, Kimmy, for answering that for me. I should just read Kimmy's chats before I answer things I don't know. Julia543 says only 3 hours. 3 hours of what? I forgot that fast. Y'all got to let me know the context. Diavedo says that is a thing. 72 hours. Oh, they only held her for 3 hours. I was shocked by that too. They must have found that she wasn't having that she was not going to harm herself, so they let her go. 3 hour psycho. Yep, got it. Thank you. Truth is in His Word says, I'm dead. She's still in two. She is still in two. Like they just making this girl out to be a thief. Now I see why they said she tried to steal his phone. MB said, just like the video of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, Brian was calm and joking after all he put Gabby through. Exactly. You can literally attack, or some people can literally attack someone, and then when that person is all riled up, now all of a sudden they're satisfied. They're able to sit down and they're making you or the person that's riled up look crazy. So I do not put that past this situation. That can completely be going on here. Y'all, if you haven't already, please do hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm and helps us get more friends. Although some of our friends are not too friendly. We had a very angry Sassy Pants in the chat earlier today, but I think Kimmy deleted the comment. I was going to address Sassy Pants, but that is okay. We're not going to go back. We're not going to be negative. MB said, I think I already got that one. Deacon Fatal says that character was supposed to be hated. Yeah, well, they did a good job. They did a good job with making the villain hated. He was just annoying. Like, some villains, they're like cool. They're not like really like they're a problem, but they're not a problem, if that makes sense. He was mad annoying. He had too much gripe for me. I don't even remember his storyline all the way. I just remember being very annoyed with him. That's all I remember. Oh, it was not showing up on YouTube anymore, so I thought that you had deleted it, but we're not going to address Sassy Pants, okay? Julia says, I don't know what actually happened, but I think it sounds like you're leaning towards she didn't attack him, or if she did, he riled her up and was abusive first. I'm really not sure what happened. I have no idea what happened. I'm just saying that it is a possibility that could have happened because I've seen it happen before. I have witnessed someone riling somebody up, narcissistic behavior, riling them up, and then all of a sudden they're super calm. I have no idea what actually happened. It could be that she's a feisty little fighter and she was like, oh, wow, he was in Creed. That's going to be my perfect match for me to beat up one day. And I'm gonna beat him up all throughout our relationship. That could definitely be the situation, but I don't know. I haven't like I said, I haven't been able to read what the prosecutor is alleging. We do have an article about her testimony that we're going to look into in a second, so we'll kind of get her point of view about it. Julia says, given the media coverage of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I really don't trust reporting now. That is also true. But this is not reporting. This is a pleading. This was a pleading that Jonathan Majors' attorney filed on his behalf in a motion to dismiss, and it was denied. And so now he's in trial. So either the judge doesn't believe him or they haven't seen these videos yet. So that's what we have to remember here. Sardonism says, truth, you take my phone, you better be ready to square up. If some people are very protective of their phones, don't know what the heck are in those little computers, but some people do not want you going through their phones. Oh, let's see. Oh, I see. Let's see where we at. Bridget G, I think, says, joined late. Oh no, I love Jonathan Majors in Lovecraft Country. So disappointed to hear he allegedly done some horrible stuff. And hopefully, if he's truly innocent, that he can prove that he did not do these things. But as big as that guy is, I haven't seen that girl yet. And I don't know, maybe she's saying Creed took over. Creed and his villain ways, Creed villain and also villain in the Ant-Man movie took over him. You know, we don't know. They're both alleging that the other one is who attacked them. And who knows, if he was struggling with her with his phone, that could have easily led to her finger being broken, right? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Truth in his word says, kicked his butt when shopping with his credit. It does look bad. Like, it looks so bad. It looks like she is the problem. So I don't know. Could she have attacked him, beat him up, stole from him, flew out the country with all his items? Potentially. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it does sound like, you know, it makes her sound bad that she had an alternative motive. She started some BS with him and then got him arrested. But I think he's the one that actually called the police. So did he get himself arrested? Because I think he called the police for her apparent suicide, right? And then he got arrested, even though he was telling them that she's the one that did it to him, which is crazy. Let me see. I didn't finish it. Got him locked up and then stole his stuff. Wow, just wow. Yeah. Not a good night for them on March 25th. Deacon Fatal says, don't tell comic fans that I didn't like that character. I don't know what to tell you. Cheryl C says, I don't really believe he hasn't been physical in the past, but listening to the details of this situation and watching the videos from that night makes me believe she made most of this up. You've seen the videos? Are they on YouTube? I need to go watch them because I haven't seen the videos. Like, this is my live reaction. Didn't even know this was his story. The way that the story is told, like I've said several times, it's very colorful. And I understand in the practice area that I'm in that people are going to tell their story in the way that kind of benefits them most. But like I said, if he's accurately describing the video, it makes me wonder why they didn't prosecute her. So I would love to see it. Deacon Fatal saying, are some attorneys right now bossing up from these trials in compensation? What do you mean? Like working for the celebrities? Are they making money? I'm sure they are. I'm sure they definitely are. Deacon Fatal says to me, I think I already read that one. Deacon Fatal also says, yeah, he was in Lovecraft County. I don't know. I don't think I ever heard of that. But maybe I'll have to check it out. I don't know. I didn't like him in his villain roles. He was kind of mad, annoying in Creed too. And I know it's the character, it's not his fault, but yeah, I think he acted too hard. He took his character too seriously, in my opinion. But she's basically trying to use that to her advantage at this point. So let's go ahead. We went ahead and went through the allegations that's his story and he's sticking to it. He told the police that he brought in his motion to dismiss. And I'm pretty sure they had it in their opening statement. So let's go ahead and jump into the description of the opening statement, and then we'll go ahead and get to Homegirl's testimony. So let's go ahead. No, I keep saying let's see. All right. Jonathan Majors' assault trial starts with competing versions of a backseat confrontation. Opening statements were given in the criminal trial of actor Jonathan Majors, who was charged last spring, but they said last spring, but it was this spring, but whatever, for allegedly assaulting his then girlfriend during an argument. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to mention. Megan Good is dating this man. Like, that is that a PR stunt or is this serious? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all think Megan Good dating this man is a PR stunt? Because she was just married to the pastor. Now she's married to the man that's being accused of beating everybody up. Okay, he beat people up in Creed, he beat people up in Ant-Man, and now he's allegedly beating up his girlfriend. Okay, or ex-girlfriend. I would like the charges to be resolved before I engage in that kind of relationship. Okay, make sure he didn't do it first. Okay, Jonathan Major listened silently, head cocked and eyes down, as a Manhattan prosecutor and his defense attorney offered competing accounts of a violent confrontation in the backseat of a car that led to assault charges against the film star and put his rapid Hollywood ascent on pause. Yeah, he was coming up. He was getting a lot of roles. I had never heard of him before, and then all of a sudden he was in back-to-back movies that I wanted to watch. The opening statement Monday in the trial against Majors centered on whether the actor assaulted his former girlfriend, Grace Jabari, after she read a romantic text message sent to his phone by another woman. Prosecutors say Majors grabbed the woman's hand so hard he fractured her middle finger, then twisted her arm behind her back and struck her on the side of the head. The latest outburst in an alleged pattern of physical and emotional abuse. And that's what I'm saying. It sounds like a situation, not saying that it's completely true, where it was probably physical and what they're claiming emotional abuse in the past. So this is not the first time that something like this has happened. So I can see, even if he didn't necessarily react super negatively this time, because some people are able to control their anger when other people are around. And as we just read, the driver was there. So maybe he didn't start the fight at that point, but maybe she was prepared because she already knew what it was. We don't know. It's going to be up for the jury to really decide for us. An attorney for Majors argued that her client was the true victim, claiming he was left bloodied by the attack while she spent the rest of the night clubbing. The competing versions of the struggle were presented to the jury was that the competing versions of the struggle were presented to a jury was itself unusual, a rare instance of a misdemeanor assault case going to trial. Right. We're talking about 1 year, but why is he going to trial over something that could only be 1 year? It can cost him his career. And as we know, he was on the up and up. Or if you didn't know him, he was on the up and up. He's starring in a Marvel movie is big. Starring next to what's his name, Michael B. Jordan, is also very big. So definitely see why he's trying to fight this, although it's just a misdemeanor. Maybe he could have, pled no contest and did community service. Who knows, right? I don't know or maybe the prosecution is just trying to stick it to him and didn't give him any plea deals. I don't know. For Majors, a 34-year-old rising star, the stakes may be higher than the 1 year in prison he could face if convicted. In her opening statements, the actor's attorney, Priya Chandri, I don't know if I just said her name right, but yeah, Priya Chandri described the allegations as a revenge plot to ruin Jonathan Majors and take away everything he has spent his whole life working for. But why revenge plotted? Because he's the one, if I am recalling their own motion to dismiss, he's the one that actually called the police, not her. And it seemed like they were together in his rise to fame. She's not really in charge of whether she's dropping the charges or not. So let's see. Pointing to Major's breakout roles in Creed 3 and his emergence as a key supervillain in the Marvel multiverse, Chandri said her client's career seemed unstoppable until he ended his relationship with Miss Jabari, and she hours later made these false allegations. Wait, so they didn't say anything about the fact that he broke up with her during their motion to dismiss. So is this a new angle? Oh, I don't like how they're playing that. Since his arrest in March, an ad campaign for the U.S. Army featuring Majors has been pulled from the release of magazine Dreams. A Sundance Award-winning film that he starred in has been postponed. Chandri also invoked Major's race. He is black, Jabari is white, as a potential reason that he was arrested the day after the confrontation. In his own opening statement, Assistant District Attorney Michael Perez described the alleged assault as the culmination of a cruel and manipulative pattern of psychological and physical abuse that Majors directed at his partner of 2 years. That is what we kind of been talking about. It could have been a situation where he was always doing this to her and she just kind of, blew up like a battered wife syndrome, basically. The trial, he said, would show that Majors demanded total compliance from his girlfriend, at one point telling her that she needed to model herself after Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. If she didn't meet that standard by staying out late with her friends or going to a music festival, for example, Major would often become angry, throwing household objects and shouting at her, the prosecutor said. Both prosecution and defense offered clashing narratives about the aftermath of the alleged assault as well. Once the driver pulled over, Majors fled the scene with his phone, and Jabari chased him on foot through traffic like a movie, according to Chandri. Unable to find Majors, she met 3 strangers and followed them to a Manhattan club, where she spent the next few hours drinking and dancing. The defense attorney said. The prosecutors, meanwhile, said Majors picked Jabari up and threw her inside the car on multiple occasions after the driver pulled over. He said she accepted the invitation by bystanders in hopes of temporarily blocking out the abuse committed by Majors. She returned home after a few hours at the nightclub, took 2 sleeping pills, and fell asleep on the floor in her bedroom. Okay, a lot of these facts were not in the motion to dismiss. So it's very interesting to see how they're going to move the case forward with the constant change in stories, in my opinion. So he did admit basically to putting her in the car, but is the video or is someone going to testify that no, he shoved her in the car, he pushed her in the car, he threw her in the car? What is the video or the testimony going to show? Okay. So let's see here. Jabari awoke the next morning to Major standing over her with police officers. Though Perez said she was initially reluctant to report the abuse because of how he manipulated her in the past and trained her to stay silent, she soon told police about the alleged assault, leading to the arrest of Majors. She was hospitalized with minor injuries. 6 months later, she was 6 months later, she was arrested by the police after Majors brought a counterclaim against her for assaulting him in the vehicle. Those charges were dismissed by the Manhattan DA and the following day. Perez referenced the arrest on Monday, telling jurors that Majors' attempts to control and intimidate Ms. Jabari extended well after her assault. Jabari is expected to testify against her former partner in the coming days. Majors did not speak to reporters as he entered the courtroom on Monday. So that is the summary of the opening statements by this lovely article that we're using, Voice of Alexandria. Basically saying that they told these conflicting stories. Homegirl says she just left and went to the club to avoid the drama. Homeboy is saying that, he left her so she couldn't follow him or whatever it may be. So I don't know which one of them are telling the truth. And honestly, it's going to be up to the jury to decide. Now, one thing that may go against Jonathan Majors is if they are looking more at his size, because I haven't seen the girl, but I'm gonna assume she's a good amount smaller than him because he's a big dude. There might be some girls that's as big as him, but there's not a lot of girls that's as big as him. So what I'm concerned about is that they'll say, oh, she's too small to have attacked him, and even if she did attack him, she couldn't hurt him. Small people are strong, especially when they're drunk and angry, or even when they're just angry. You never know, right? So let me go ahead and jump into chat and see what the peeps are saying, what the hive is saying. Okay. We got sardonism saying, I mean, there was that football star whose name I cannot remember, whose girlfriend legit called a hit squad on him, and he was charged with murder because he shot them when they showed up. I have not heard of that story. That is very interesting. No, and I'm not saying that she couldn't have done the things. No, I'm not saying that at all. Definitely could have done the things. We just weren't there. So we have to kind of wait for the allegations to come out. And Kimmy is saying that's Travis Rudolph. I still never heard of him. That happened to that football star. Sardonism says, so the cops ignoring the video is not out of the question. That is a possibility, that they're ignoring the video, or that the judge hasn't seen the video maybe, or that they're ignoring the video. You usually don't just go giving all of your evidence to the judge. You kind of put it on at trial. So, and then you object to it at trial. So maybe they just haven't seen the video yet. Jazzy G, hello. Welcome back to the live stream, saying, giving PR to me. Giving PR to like the girl for filing this? Potentially. Truth in his words says Megan is the woman he was texting in the car. Megan Good was who he was texting? Oh, that's what you were saying about the PR. I completely forgot that I asked that question. Yeah. Megan, sis, sit down. Wait till the charges are dropped. Maybe we can wait till the charges are dropped. Don't support your man through this. Okay, come back when he's done. Come back when he proves that he didn't do it. Deacon Fatal says, I thought she was in the hospital. As far as the girl, she did go. No, she went after the police came. She went to the club first, though. She went to the club first. Deacon Fatal says, wait, when did she go to the hospital? She went to the hospital in the morning after she went to the club. That's what they're alleging. She went to the club and then the hospital after he found her on the floor, apparently passed out or pretending. And his rendition of the facts is almost like they're alleging that she was pretending to be passed out to make him feel sorry for her. A says, hospital right after the incident. I think no, the hospital was the next morning after she turned up, bought an $800 bottle of champagne, texted her friend, sent him text messages, called him 32 times. It's a lot. It's a lot of drama if you missed it. According to Jonathan Majors, this is what happened. Kimmy Locker says to Deacon Fatal and Julia, it said she was taken to Bellevue Hospital for a psychiatric and medical evaluation. Bellevue held Ms. Jabari in the psych ward for 3 hours and treated her injuries. Yes, but it was after she went to the club. Okay, she had to party first, according to that. Deacon Fatal says, please like the stream. Yes, definitely. Please like the stream. We definitely appreciate it. We are at 29 likes with 29 people watching live, but I know some of y'all have not hit the like button, so I would really appreciate it if you did. Helps us out, helps us get friends. You know, we got to get back in the algae because your girl be going MIA sometimes. Okay, I'm working on it though. Next year is going to be different. Next year is going to be different. We're committing to YouTube. It is now our husband. Okay. Maybe not my husband, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Deacon Fatal says a woman scorned. That's what they're alleging here. A says, wow, 2 years. Yeah, they were allegedly together for 2 years. A says, did she ever do red carpets with him? I honestly don't know. I just started hearing about him. I've just started noticing him as a movie star, TV star, whatever you want to call him. Let's go ahead and pull her up. You know, we got the computer. We can easily look her up. What does this girl look like? I just keep saying, I don't know what she looks like. I don't know what she looks like. She could be a whole MMA fighter out. Oh gosh, no, she's not an MMA fighter. Okay. Can we get bigger? Yeah, who said she was a 115-pound girl? You are probably right. She's very small compared to him. He doesn't look that big, but we know he is that big. So she's, yeah, very skinny. But hey, she could have like martial arts training for all we know. Who freaking knows? We don't know. So it looks like she did some red carpets with him. Deacon Fatal says, well, if someone asked me to act like Michael or Michelle Obama, I would have taken some type of way too. He knew who she was. Yeah. And I don't know if that all happened all at the same time. It sounds like they had a couple of different run-ins. I don't know if that all happened at the same time. Deacon Fatal said it's given Ricky Lake. Name is familiar, but it's not popping in my head. Gabrielle George said, what did I just do? Okay, I think I just got rid of my screen, but that's okay. Gabrielle George says, chased her through traffic. I wonder if any witnesses reported it. He's saying that she chased him through traffic, but then all of a sudden he picked her up and put her back in the car. So I don't know. The facts are not lining up for me, but sure, whatever. Pinky Blue says, I doubt it. Every time I witness DV, IPV, intimate partner violence, I have been the only person who bothered to do anything. A lot of people do not intervene because that kind of stuff can get dangerous, and a lot of people would rather protect themselves than to help. Not saying that they have to intervene, but you could potentially report it. Truth in his word says, when he said to be like Michelle Obama, did he mean to behave like her? Basically saying, don't go out and party. If you're going to want to go out and party, you basically can't be by my side because I'm a rising star. That's what I got from the comment. Let me know if y'all got something else. Cheryl C., another member of the channel, welcome into the live stream, saying she recorded that conversation. The comments about King/Obama were arrogant, yes, but not psycho like they are making it sound. He said he needs to be with someone who has a good image, doesn't party. Like I said, he is a rising star. He's going to want someone to look good next to him. If it wasn't really during the fight, I mean, I guess they're trying to show that he's being emotionally abusive by saying that. But I don't know, maybe telling her to mature. Is that such a bad thing is the question. I haven't heard the audio, so I can't really make too many comments about it, how it came off and how it could have made her feel, right? A says, to be supportive and strong exactly to him in basically his career lane. Deacon Fatal says, how about you don't talk about how strong we are? Talking about the women. Deacon Fiddle says, it's giving Ricky Lake, Dr. Phil, and Jerry. Oh, okay, yeah. Jerry Springer all at once. I don't care for it. It sounds like a WWE SmackDown. He still think that he's in the Creed movie, and she does too. And he's also the villain in Marvel still. A says, how strong we who? Talking about women. We can't let him know. A says, it's interesting he chose those examples in any case. I know a lot of people made comments about it because he clearly named a black woman and she is not a black woman, which they thought was odd. People have made comments and that if he basically making it seem like, oh, he said it because she was white and that she needed to act like these black women. I don't think he said it because of that. I think that's probably just the example that came to him as strong women. But they're basically trying to spin the race card here. So I don't know. I don't know if that's what he was going for. Because he went and got a black girl after. So maybe that is what he was going for. I don't know. But a lot of people are saying that it's like he wanted her to behave like a black woman. I took it that he wanted her to behave like a classy woman. So let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let's see. Cheryl C says to Jazzy G, he said he was a great man doing great things and trying to be a community leader. I am paraphrasing. He needs to be with someone with a good reputation and willing to make sacrifices like King / Obama. That makes sense. He wants someone to be supportive because his career was rising for sure. A says, wow, that sounds very cluster B. Fig says he was in Star Wars too. He has been on the up and up, to be honest. I don't watch Star Wars. I don't watch Star Wars, so I don't know. The first time I saw him was in Creed. That's the first time I saw him, but he definitely could have had a great career before that, but I'm just late to the party, you know? A says looks pretty normal as far as the girl. She looks small. She looks like she weighs 115 pounds. Jazzy G says, oh, okay, I see. Gerald C says, very slim blonde. Yes. And we know he has muscles, although it didn't look like it in that jacket. We know that man has muscles. Truth in his word says, now it makes me wonder if she has kicked his butt before. Right. And that's the question. They're saying that there was a cycle of abuse. Is she the starter or is he the starter? That would also be a question. A says, yeah, he's huge and all muscle. Yeah, exactly. That jacket was not doing it justice to how big he actually is. A says, wasn't he in a boxing movie? Yes, he was in Creed 3. Kimmy Locker says, yes, Creed 3. Cheryl C says, the vid shows her chasing him. Her story doesn't match what pics and vids show, but I have only seen opening statements so far. Where did you watch it, Cheryl C? Because I'm trying to find it so that we can watch it and catch up on it, and so that I can see the videos too. A says they both have a point. She has to play the part if he's bringing her with him to fame, etc. I agree with that. The thing is, I don't know what context it would say it in, but I'm sure they presented it as this is a cycle of emotional abuse. So even if she did hit him first or she did try to take his phone, it's because she has already been abused by him. It's basically the argument that I'm sensing coming forward. A says, but his job to party and schmooze, how else did he come up out of nowhere? I don't know what you mean by that. A says, he's colorblind, duh. Gotta be colorblind. I thought he was just saying it as far as like respectful women. It could be because black and then he went and got a black woman. I don't know. But those are pretty, up there women. They have standard, or not they have standard, but they are very not sought after, but very well respected women. And that's what I took it as, especially with him having a growing career. Team Lucci says, the only complaint you can have about being compared to a first lady or a preacher's wife, what now? What is the problem? What is the problem? But I'm sure they're presenting it as emotional abuse. A says, I mean, he's saying by my sidekick live for me. Yeah. If they're going to be next to him, you have to be doing, dang, all these comments popping up. Y'all got a lot to say today. Love it, but it's a lot. Deacon Fatal says, well, I have to head to sleep, watch The Simpsons. When The Simpsons make more sense to me, that's very telling. Well, have a good night. I hope The Simpsons are lovely for you tonight. Deacon Fatal says, how old is she, by the way? I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, Kimmy told us 30. She's 30. And they're doing all of this. A says, Michelle O says Barack O was a terrible partner and father for a decade. That's, yeah. To a point. I don't know if she's just saying he was terrible, but it was like as far as caring for the family instead of like putting his career first. Yeah. A said Michelle had it not good with Obama. I don't think in the way that they're explaining it, I don't think Obama was beating Michelle. I don't think he was beating her down. Chelsea says, sorry, typo. I have not seen opening statements. No cameras in court. Oh, I thought you said you've only seen opening statements. I have read the updates from people in court and watched the recaps. Okay, makes sense. Truth in his word says, Megan said, I'll be your Michelle. She got him. She got him. She's okay with it. Okay. She said, I was already the preacher's wife. I was already the preacher's wife, so you want a preacher's wife? I'll be it. Oh my gosh. A says Meg is a girlfriend for hire, a PR relationship. That's what it's seeming like. The good girl that just divorced her preacher husband is now with a boxer dude that is being alleged of beating his woman down. Kimmy Locker says, don't forget to like and share Bree Hype. Even if you just like and copy the share link, it helps the stream a lot. Thank you very much for the reminder. Definitely appreciate it. Jazzy G says, Meg Def has a good image. Yeah, it makes him look a little better. How could I hurt someone if I'm dating the preacher's ex-wife, right? Okay. So that is what we have for what was that? The kind of summary of the opening statements. Let's go ahead and jump into some comments about her testimony. Yeah, I feel like it got, give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. I stopped sharing my screen for whatever reason. Let's pull it back up. Boom, there we are. Okay, Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend testifies on injuries after the alleged assault. I felt like I had been hit by a bus, is what she states. Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend took the witness stand on Thursday for the third consecutive day. Oh, dang, I missed some of the other ones. Oh, gosh. I got one article for y'all. Where she faced questions from the Creed 3's actor's defense attorney about the injury she sustained on the night in March she was allegedly assaulted. Major's attorney, Priya Kandri, asked Grace Jabari 30 about why she had gone out to the nightclub immediately after the alleged assault, suggesting that her injuries must not have been particularly serious. She says, I was feeling pain, but I was choosing to ignore it. I was filled with adrenaline, Jabari told Manhattan jury. The next morning is when the pain sunk in. When I woke up, I felt like I had been hit by a bus. That can happen. I don't believe that to be untrue. In her testimony, Jabari described meeting 3 strangers on the street after the alleged altercation with Majors. They invited her to a Lucy's nightclub on Manhattan's Lower East Side. She went because she didn't want to be alone. At the venue, Jabari told the jury she danced, took 1 or 2 tequila shots, and shared a bottle of champagne with her new friends. I was upset about the cheating, she said. It was on my mind. Majors is accused of assaulting Jabari in the backseat of the private car. Jabari testified on Tuesday that she saw a text message on Major's phone from another woman that read, wish I was kissing you right now. Y'all saying Megan is the one sending that text message? That's what y'all saying? Megan, no. I don't know if it was really her. Don't quote me on that. She took the phone out of his hands to see who sent the message, and he forcefully retrieved it, according to Jabari. She said this caused bruising, swelling, and excruciating pain that resulted in a swollen finger and a cut behind her ear. Police were not called until the next day when Majors, who spent the night at a hotel, returned to their shared apartment in Chelsea and found Jabari asleep on the floor. Chandri said in her opening statement that Majors did so out of concern for Jabari's mental state. Jabari said that she had taken sleeping pills because it was too painful for her to fall asleep naturally. During the trial, Jabari teared up multiple times watching police footage of officers searching her apartment and giving her medical attention. At one point, she had to leave the stand for a few minutes to compose herself. I was trying to sleep. I ended up being sick. My head hurts, my ear, she told officers in the video that played in court. As the jury was shown footage from the nightclub, Chandri asked if Jabari hit her head on the DJ booth, to which Jabari responded, I did not. In a video of Jabari touching her hair as she left the club, Chandri questioned if Jabari felt blood on her head. I didn't touch behind my ears, so I didn't, she said. So potentially the cut was behind her ear so that you couldn't see it. I don't know how true that could be. The jury saw video surveillance footage from the various points of the night, including the street where Jabari initially conversed with the 3 strangers. Chandri questioned Jabari about playing with and fluffing her hair despite the laceration behind her ear and pain in her finger. When Chandri asked if this motion hurt, Jabari responded, I wasn't thinking about pain at this point. I was upset. During Jabari's cross-examination, Majors 34 sat at the defense table as he whispered with his attorney and intently watched the video surveillance footage played for the jury. Majors' current girlfriend, Megan Good, has attended each day of the proceedings. Girl, don't do that. But she's doing it, so do what you need. Chandri also pressed Jabari about the altercation in the car, asking her whether Majors was using a lot of force and whether it hurt. Jabari replied yes to both questions. I knew not to fight back. Jabari said previously during the trial that she did not want to involve the police after he allegedly assaulted her. She told jurors that Majors had previously warned her about trusting the police because of what they would do to him as a Black man, and added, I didn't want to put him in that situation. Sandri also has alleged it was Jabari who assaulted Majors in the vehicle that night, not the other way around. The defense also argued that Jabari fabricated the allegations to get back at Majors after their breakup. They met in August 2021 on a London set of Marvin's. And she was on Ant-Man, or she was on the set of Ant-Man. I've been talking mess about that man on Ant-Man. And the Wasp Quantumanium, and dated for 2 years before Major ended the relationship on the night of the alleged assault. How come that was not in the motion to dismiss? If he broke up with her that night, why was that not in the motion to dismiss? That would be a major key for her to even react like that. And for her to like check his phone and, okay, you're talking to another girl. I just broke up. Why are you hanging out with her if you just broke up with her? I'm so confused. Did he break up with her after the fight or while the fight was going on? I'm confused. Okay, let me see. This is a case about the end of a relationship, not about a crime, Sandri said in her opening statement, at least not one that Mr. Majors committed. Majors is on trial for 3 misdemeanor counts of assault and harassment, to which he pleaded not guilty. If convicted, he could face up to a year in prison. The cross-examination of Jabari is expected to finish on Friday. Her colleague and friend Holly Blakely will be the next witness to be called to the stand. And that's all that is for that one. So she basically testified to what I thought she would testify to. She didn't feel it, the adrenaline, the blood pumping. She didn't say she was too drunk to feel it, all of the things. Why was him saying that they broke up not in the motion to dismiss? That's what I would like to know. Is this a new angle to the whole trial? She reacted like this, although they were already broken up. I don't like it. Don't like that new angle. It should have, if that was the real case, in my opinion, it should have been put into the motion to dismiss. I don't think I missed it. I don't think I missed it. Let's see if I missed it. Actually, we can pull it up right now. Oops, come on. Break. Nope. Let's see. What about broke up? Broke up. Nope. Broke up. Nope. Let's see. Ended. Let's see if I missed it. I don't think I did. Nope. So that was not in the motion to dismiss. And I think if that was actually the case, it would have been in the motion to dismiss. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay, there I am. I was like, where did I go? Where did I go? Yeah, so they didn't mention that. I find that kind of odd that they didn't mention that he broke up with her. Why were you hanging out if you were broken up with? Did the defense attorney ask them, hey, did he break up with you? I want to be in the courtroom because that part sounds like nonsense to me. It sounds like a lie to me, which makes me feel like everything else is a lie too. But I would still love to see the videos to see if she was the one really acting crazy. But like I said, I've seen situations where someone has riled someone up and then you can't stop the crazy. Once you're riled up, you can't stop the crazy. Okay, Jazzy G says, a night out drinking can cause you to feel bad too. That is also true. Cheryl C says, oh, Bree, Alita Legal Bites is doing short recaps if you want the attorney's viewpoint on the thing so far. Yes, I saw that today, but I did not have time to watch it. I was going to watch it, but I didn't have time. The CA says, It's sad the choices Meg makes because she's literally a household name. Right. I grew up watching her and now she's just, I don't know what she has going on. He says she doesn't need this. She definitely doesn't. Truth in his word says she saw the text from Megan saying she wanted to kiss him. Do we have like confirmation that the text came from Megan Good? I don't know. I don't want to say it if we don't have the confirmation. Um, Let's see. MB says it's 5:30 a.m. If I will get any sleep, I need to sleep now. Bye. Bye. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping, or good morning. Thank you for stopping by. And we are about to tap out of here anyways, because your girl is running out of voice. It actually wasn't that bad. I told y'all at the beginning of the stream I'm not feeling well, but I actually feel a little better after talking. I'm probably going to feel horrible tomorrow. But that is all that I have for today. What do you guys think about the case? I don't really know who to believe at this point. I'm going to look up those videos and see if I can find it and see how she's behaving and if I believe her or whatever it is. But I do definitely know of those situations where you don't feel pain because you're all hyped up on adrenaline when someone is doing that to you. And in addition to that, also if she admitted that she had the drinks before, that could also numb the pain. And sometimes fractures are really small as well. So that is I don't disbelieve her because of that. I think that's very possible to happen. Can we take this little banner off? How do I take the banner off? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I don't disbelieve her in that she didn't feel it. Depending on where the cut was on her ear, maybe you wouldn't have seen it. I don't know. Maybe she could have hurt herself when she actually got home. I don't know. But it does take a while for bruising to come up. I don't really believe his side of it because I don't understand why he never mentioned the breakup in the motion to dismiss. It could just be me being, picky about the way that they wrote their motion to dismiss. But I think if that was their legitimate angle that she was mad that they broke up and he was going to be a big star, I think you would have mentioned that in your motion to dismiss. That's just my opinion. And the fact that all the other prosecutors dropped the case for his claim, or not his claim, but his allegations against her, I think that's very telling. Do the police always do their job perfectly? No. But I think it's very telling if you have two different police departments declining to actually go forward with the charges. So go ahead and comment what y'all think. Let's see where we're at with the likes today before we jump off of here. Okay. What's going on, computer? All right, we hit 31 likes. Woohoo! Wait, oh gosh, I can't figure out my soundboard because it's no longer being my friend anymore. So let's go to my and I can hear this one. Don't know why I can't hear the other one. So, okay, that's enough clapping. Okay, so yes, we hit 31 likes. Thank you guys so much for joining me live today. We should be back on Tuesday as long as I get better over the weekend. We toughed it out through this live stream and hopefully we will be here on Tuesday. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend and I will